So cute.
Así que, let's see. There we go.
There we are. So we're checking that we have the video, right? En vivo.
we, it seems we are. Oh, wait, because we should have
Hello,
this.
everyone. I'm assuming we are live.
Yes, we
So
are.
we'll say hello, hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Good morning, or good afternoon,
Or good
or good
evening.
evening.
Yes, yes, yes. Hello. Well, here we are with Janet Altagracia.
And Mayadari del Sol on a very nice, juicy, different, gonna have you thinking type of topic.
That's it. Let's say that. And again, this is our A Date with Your
Yes.
Soul program that we decided to offer as a service to share information that can help you grow spiritually and to also understand a little bit of how is it that your family system can be affecting you, let's say negatively, and you don't know it or you don't notice it, right? And you follow these patterns. And so here we are talking a little bit about systemic work, systemic therapy.
Absolutely. It
Yes,
gives you an opportunity to kind of start learning how to understand yourself and understand why you do what you do.
exactly. And as Janet just said, we have an amazing topic
Yes,
tonight,
we
a
do.
juicy topic, as
I'm
you
really
call.
excited about it. Very
And
excited.
yes, and it is called We Replicate Unresolved Painful Stories from Our Past into Our Present.
You know, why do we do that? That's what I always say. Why do we do that?
That's a good question, Janet. And it's not that we want to, of course, because no one wants to be repeating these patterns, especially the ones that cause us pain,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, for the ones that could see the image that we presented, just to show that we were going to be live today or tonight, it's an image of this lady who is standing in the middle of this line, and from the left side, there is a sign that says past. And then from this line to the right, it says future. And so we are exactly in that line. And sometimes it's hard for us to understand that this line really doesn't exist when we talk about systemic work.
Yeah, that's the one I have to kind of sit in. Can you say it again type of thing? What you mean it doesn't exist?
It doesn't exist because when we are talking about unresolved emotions or unresolved memories from our ancestors, um, these memories that haven't been resolved don't they haven't disappeared, even though they happened in what we call the past. Yes, it's like we are, let's say that these memories are held in this space that has no time.
That's the key. It has no time. It's just held in that space to
Yes,
see who's going to resolve it.
exactly. So if anybody would enter this room, let's say, or this space, all the memories of the ancestors are there. Of course, if all of these memories are in this space and you are part of that room, that means that you're connected to the information that this space is showing.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, yes.
So in this space where there is no time, this information is applying. So since you have this information, let's say, ingrained, when you leave this supposedly room, this information is already part of you.
And it leaves with you.
It lives with you. So if you open the door and you leave this room, it will follow you, right? Or let's say you will follow the information that was kept in that room. It's not that information follows you. You follow the information that is already there because it hasn't been transcended.
Yes, yes, yes. That would be, yes, that would be the correct way.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And all the family system is being in the same room with the same information. So this, when I was talking about no time in this space where all of these unresolved memories are, means that this information that could have been maybe traumatic, it could be a trauma behind it, or it could be stories of betrayal or stories of abandonment, rejection, right? There are stories behind these memories. And if these memories haven't been healed or transcended, as we were talking about before, then they have this energy that is, it's like an entrapment. It is trapped. The energy is trapped there. And we usually, let's say, we don't want that energy because it's going to cause us pain, limitation, or suffering. Still, we attract the energy. Because remember that when we reject something, we cannot reject something that is already in us. Because that is the information of your ancestors and also yours. And no matter how much you don't want it in you, you cannot just say, I don't want it in me. It is there. It's part of you. So speaking of this line that we think it divides the past and the future and that we are in the present, when we're talking about these memories, there is no such thing. If those memories of the past haven't been healed, they are still present as it happened just now. Like these memories just happened a second ago, and the same information of pain or trauma or this entrapment and energetic entrapment is there. And it will be causing, of course, it will be causing effects because it has an effect. These energies that are trapped cause an effect, right? It's like it's about to push or explode or something, right? And somehow needs to be worked. If we, yes, so someone needs to get into that room and take a look at all the space and all the memories that are held in there and say, wow, I can see that maybe some of these are applying to me, and I'm replicating stories that probably caused you the same suffering and pain as your ancestors did.
Yes. I mean, it's like when you think about it, so deep because you think about it, that you go into this room and that room is totally a reflection of you. And but a part of it is that you're not even aware. And the way you become aware is by being triggered, by creating the experiences. And even though, I was famous for always saying that, but why would I do that? I know better. Why would I do that? But the thing is, ironically enough, I didn't know better because I hadn't healed it. I hadn't looked at it because I wasn't aware, you know?
That's a very good point. And it is a good point that we can let go of that expectation, but I don't want it in me, or why that happened to me, or it's just we don't see it. We are not aware of it. We might not have been able to recognize what is. Yeah. For example, today I had this girl. She came to have a family constellation session with me today, and her topic, or let's say the issue that she brought was like, I don't know what is, but I feel guilt. Like I feel guilty when I wanna prioritize myself. So I don't know how to put myself first before my family. And she had that issue, but I really want to finally feel free and independent of my family. And I am aware that I'm supposed to do that, and I really want to do that. But when I feel ready to do it, again, I feel called to go and be with them and kind of please them and kind of look for their approval. And so I haven't been able to really do it.
It's so ingrained. So that is her unconscious way of self sabotaging what she wants to do that is in the best interest of herself. But yet,
Exactly. Yes. So when we open this morphogenetic field, where all of this space, let's talk about the room.
mm-hmm.
When we open the room, we got to observe because the field, the morphogenetic field, where all of these memories are, or this special room that we are talking about today, when we got to enter into this room, we could see that she was in the middle of mom and dad. Like they said, this is dad, this is mom, and she was here in the middle of both of them as a child, and she wouldn't leave the system
Mm.
because these two parents couldn't connect. They were
Oh,
so disconnected of each other. But we also got to see that each of them was very disconnected of their own family system. So this one, for example, the one on the right, didn't want to see anything. It's like never opened his eyes. He never he said, I don't want to connect to anybody. I don't feel anybody on my back. So he would want to feel even his own family system. And this girl, when she got the opportunity, she wanted to hug him. It's like, oh, like she was feeling pity, but she wanted to also save dad. It's like, I want to save you, dad.
oh, she wanted a rescue.
She wanted to rescue that because she felt like if someone needs to give him this love that maybe he didn't have. And when we looked at the left, which was her mother, it was exactly the same thing. She was very present, but she was also like expressing from that inner child that was just a child. I want that love. I will give you that love. And it was just all the manipulation that will keep her in the system. So it was very interesting to see her dynamic for her that she was aware of. I need to let go of this uh, relationship that is not functional and is not really serving me in my purpose. But I don't know how.
And it's hard, especially when they're parents, because in
Yes.
this case, she like what Maya's saying, it seems like she definitely wanted to rescue them.
Hmm.
But then, like as she does the work, she goes, you know what, this is not serving. I have to leave.
Hmm.
And then, but how do I leave mom and dad?
And then she felt guilty.
Then there you see where the guilt was coming from.
Yes, and she couldn't realize that she was feeling guilty, that she wanted to save both of them, that she also wanted to save their marriage. Because if she wasn't there in the middle, that marriage wouldn't be working.
Now that's a tough one as well because we feel that sense, especially kids feel the sense that they want to save the marriage.
Yes.
And sometimes, you know what? There's nothing to save.
No. No,
And
and
that's the
so
hard one. But
yes, it
sometimes there's
is.
just nothing to save.
So how would you solve something like this
Mm-hmm.
in a family constellation, right? By her realizing that I can see dad or dad and mom, that I cannot rescue you,
Right.
that I cannot save you, that I cannot even save your marriage, that I have a purpose. And I respect, because this is out of I respect where you choose to be at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah. You respect their journey.
Exactly.
Right. That's their contract.
And also the contract with her,
Mm-hmm.
but that was the contract that she was creating with her parents, and she can redesign that contract, not with the parents, with mom and dad, but her contract with mom and her contract with dad. That is what makes the difference when we talk about a family constellation reconciliation with the family system or with the parents. That is not about I want them to change,
Mm-hmm.
or I want them to be happy, or I want them to be free. Actually, we need to let go of that expectation and simply say, I respect mom and dad where you are, and I respect you don't want to see more, you don't want to change anything else, and I cannot make that happen for you. Because if you choose not to, who am I to come and try to change what you don't want to change?
Exactly. It's like allowing it and for you to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the journey that they both have chosen. And like Maya said, you respect it, but you accept that it's their journey. And you
Exactly.
come back and you become aware of what's your part in the journey and then start the liberation in it.
Exactly. So that's what we did today. And she finally got to, or how, she could see herself because she was out of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like when you open the door of this special room that we are talking about, and she sees the scene of dad, her, and mom.
It's so funny because when you said that, when she opens the door, I can just see someone opening the door and all of them being there
Yes.
and go, pick me, pick
Uh-huh.
me. The different ones that want to be, that they want you to become aware and work with.
Yes.
But that is a journey, though. It's a
It
process.
is, and I like that kind of image that you just
Uh-huh.
gave,
Mm-hmm.
because just the memories are there, all waiting.
They
And
are.
it's like pick me, pick me, pick me, and we have so many to pick.
Mm-hmm.
But at certain moment, like today, that was a specific memory she needed to heal. So what we did was, like, let's say, go enter into that room, and since you cannot save dad, since you cannot save mom, who could you save out of those three?
Herself.
Herself.
That's the gift. That's the awareness.
That's the awareness. So she came into the room and grabbed her inner child.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gave this child, inner child, permission, yeah, permission, right?
Mm-hmm. Permission, yes.
To not to be anymore the parent of her parents, because she was being the parent of her parents. And so she finally gave permission to this child to let go of this responsibility
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't correspond to her, because no one can give the parents what they feel they didn't have in their perspective, only their own parents, right? So that's why we're healing first our parents, mom and dad, that
Mm-hmm.
relationship and that relationship with ours, with us. So that's what happened in the field. She went and grabbed that child and took it
Oh,
out of that space
yes.
and brought that child with her. And then they went outside. Actually, I have a room here and a door. And she opened the door. And then she
Oh,
went
yes.
outside. And then the inner child felt like, oh, finally, she's paying some attention to me. She's prioritizing myself and my needs and what I want to do, because she couldn't leave home because she needed to take care of these two parents' inner child.
Wow. That was magical right there for her.
Isn't that amazing
It is
how
amazing. Yeah.
just simple movements can create such a
Profound. Yeah. And
inner
profound.
peace,
Yeah.
and freedom,
And freedom. Yes.
freedom, and
And it's like the light bulb comes on. She's like, wait a minute. This is what it is. So now she can now, with more awareness, take the action that needs to be taken for
Mhm.
the liberation that she needs to free herself from the guilt that she was feeling. And that's how we become aware.
Exactly. And now she can, maybe dad is feeling this way or
Mm-hmm.
mom is feeling this way, and she can behave differently. When you get to be aware of, oh, this is how I'm doing it, I can do
Mm-hmm.
it differently now. And I mean, just see mom and say, well, I'm not going to engage in this dynamic because it's dysfunctional. And mentally, the person can say, I'm not her mother, or I'm not your mother, dad. I don't know who he was. He really didn't want to connect with anybody. He was very disconnected. And it was painful for her to see him like that. And so finally she can see him maybe now and see that and say, well, I respect you, don't want to see more, but I cannot be the one that you are looking to come and somehow rescue you.
Rescue you. And then in that process, also, once you become aware and you see it, then you have the compassion. And therefore, with you having the compassion for them, you can detach.
Exactly,
Yeah.
because there is a compassion
Mm-hmm.
that also involves love.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when we accept where the other is, it's like I accept that
Mm-hmm.
that's where you are, that you don't want to move from there, then I accept this. And that's the very first step of true love.
Yes. It's accepting people exactly where they are or where they need to be at the time
Mm-hmm.
because they're walking their process. So we respect that.
And have the compassion. I can see
Mm-hmm.
you're sad, but I
Mm-hmm.
can see also that you don't want to move from that sadness because you don't want to do more about it.
Right.
And that's compassion. Then it also gives you give you an understanding. Oh, I see also why, because maybe your mother and your father weren't there for you, present or emotionally or however it was, that you don't want to even go back to your childhood and see what is there. And I also respect that, but I can see why you also couldn't see me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not waiting anymore for you to see me. I can see that you won't be able to do it because you really don't want to take those steps. But also at the same time, you can take that energy, because that energy is there in the father and also in the mother. It's just that the parents don't see it in themselves
Mm-hmm.
because they are also trapped in these limitations and these emotions, unresolved emotions. And so, since they are trapped, they cannot see their own.
Their own wounds.
They don't see their own wounds, but they also can see their own strength,
Right, that's true. They don't see their own strength either.
and
That's
they
true.
cannot apply that strength. They cannot move actually from that conscious being that is able to give. Yes. And so, what we usually do in constellations in a case like this, she can have that energy just by seeing that this energy came from somewhere, the ancestors, something happened, it got lost, but it's also passing along
Mm-hmm.
throughout generations. And it's still in you. Just recognizing that the energy is within you is enough to take it in.
Yes. Yeah, very, very beautifully said. Yes.
Yes. It's all about a recognition. And this is all an experience because it all happens in that specific room where there is no time. There are only memories to in need to be resolved.
Yes. That's the opportunity for you to kind of work those memory one at a time.
One at a time, exactly. So here we are. We wanted to have this a topic for you to understand.
It's such a deep topic. You know what I mean? It's like I sit and I think, and I'm like, you working those memories. Some of them are painful. Like I was thinking when she was sharing about the father that he was so disconnected. And I'm thinking who knows what kind of trauma he went through that he can't even face it.
Mm-hmm,
But probably she's the one that's going to help him face it through an
mm-hmm,
experience that she might go through, or maybe her children.
mm-hmm,
And that's how we keep, if we don't resolve it, that's how we'll bring it back into the system. We'll
mm-hmm.
create an experience to work on the resolution of it.
Exactly. So we are all creating these
Every day
experiences
we are creating.
in order to resolve those memories that are in this room, uh,
Mhm.
all seated, waiting for the time for one of the descendants to come and heal it.
And heal it, yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why doing this work and getting the help and getting and doing a family constellation for you is so essential, and it will really help you, just understand more of the why of the things that happen in your life.
Definitely. So if you haven't had that experience of a family constellations, here we have a facilitator.
She has a whole school. But yeah, so I was one of her first students. Yeah, so you can definitely give me a call. We can talk about it. And I always say whoever calls me and say that they saw me in, well, either the Facebook, the Instagram, I will give you a nice discount. But yeah, if you want to start understanding these really deep topics in yourself, sometimes you do. I would say most of the time you always do need help, because part of it is just being aware. It's just being aware, like, wait a minute, and then now you look, but then sometimes it can be very painful. So you want someone to be there and help you and just hold that space,
Uh-huh.
hold that compassion, because we're not here to do anything. All we do is hold the space, hold the compassion, open the field for you. So then you can go in and, I don't want to say play, but you can go in and start understanding.
Definitely. So it is you process something in
Mm-hmm.
each of those sessions, and it's very liberating.
That's the key word. It is very liberating because to me, it's the aha moment. Like, oh, now I get
Finally,
that. Okay,
yes.
okay.
And it's not only about get it mentally and understanding, but it's also the liberation that you feel in your heart. Because it's a soul work. This is soul work. And just remember that we all want to liberate this pain that we are feeling, these emotions that we are feeling. But the thing is that if we don't get to feel this liberation, then really understanding is not gonna make a change.
That's true. It's like reading a book. Unless you
Exactly.
experience it, it's like, what did they say? Feeling is the secret.
Mhm.
It is. When you do the feeling, it's like that secret source that opens up the world for you. And that's where the transformations start beginning.
Exactly. Yes. Now, if you want to know more, because maybe just like, I don't know what you ladies are talking about,
We have
we have a
several.
book. What is the
Yeah,
book here?
there it is.
There you
Let
go.
me hold it because I'm the holder. I always say it's a nice place to start. We have it in both English and Spanish. And I know we have it in audio in Spanish and we're working on the audio in English as well. But I
Mhm.
always say buy the book because it's a nice way to start and go, oh, that's what she meant when she said that. Oh, now I understand. So a great place to start. And then after that, we do, if you want to continue even deeper, we have another program.
Yes, yes, yes. So we have, well,
So
first of
buy the
all,
book, buy the book, buy the book.
you can find the book in Amazon and you have it in Kindle or as well as in paper. And if you are those type of people that say, no, but I just open, the book and I fall asleep because it happens, right? That's okay because maybe you're not a reader, you are maybe a visual person or kinesthetic or you like to understand things more by hearing them.
Hmm.
We have a program that is called Soul's Journey. And Soul's Journey is in Hotmart. There is a platform called Hotmart. And if you go there, look for Soul's Journey, then we have this series of videos with all the content and also the systemic exercises. Let's say that sometimes when you read, you go through it, but you might not absorb the full information. But if you're hearing and also you're repeating after me, certain words, certain
Hmm.
phrasing that is very healing, then you create that inner change by just doing those simple systemic exercises that are in the book and also in Soul's Journey.
And there's power in the words. Remember, words are vibration, their frequency, their alignment. There's powers in them. And that's why it makes this book so magical and the experience so transformational.
Definitely. And also now if you want to go deeper,
Even deeper.
even deeper, then we have program, a training program on family constellations that, well, that's just a longer program, of course. And we just opened a waiting list for the next training, and that will be happening until we have certain amount of students. So if you feel called to it, welcome. We welcome you because we actually love not only that you will get your own transformation throughout the whole program, but you also will be trained to facilitate it for others as just as Janet did.
And that could be a wonderful, like if you want to do something of service
Mm-hmm.
that really help people at a much deeper level,
Uh-huh.
that is a wonderful place to start by getting that training, that certification.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So I have a little cold tonight, but it's not a cold. I don't know what it is. Something.
Allergies,
Maybe it's allergies.
maybe.
It really, I don't know what happened, but I was
Now, where in
perfectly
the
fine.
family system is that happening?
Something that I maybe didn't like, or something happened that I was perfectly fine, and all of a sudden I'm like, why am
Or
I feeling
maybe
this?
think about it. This is a tough topic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, it's like it's putting ourselves out there,
Mm-hmm.
talking about things that maybe people are not comfortable with, but yeah, who knows? Maybe that's our reaction.
Oh,
She
probably.
goes, yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So this is, we like having fun with everything.
Yes, I like embracing everything. Like this is speaking to me. It's like, what
Yeah,
is this telling me? Because
because it's
yeah.
The moment she was gonna get on the thing, she got that allergy. Okay, well let's look at that. So
Let's
now
take a
that's what
look
we're
at
gonna
it.
do that after. Okay, we're
And
gonna
it
study
sounds
that.
great. Sounds great, Janet. Thank you. I have a facilitator here, so I'm so glad. And because yes, it's very important also, as just we are talking about this, that sometimes we feel that certain things that happen in our lives are just like, oh, it's just a cold, or it's just a headache, or it's just a simple this, or it's just something that is not really relevant. But no, every little thing is really relevant because it's the way your soul communicates.
Isn't that something? I think that's wonderful. Like what we think sometimes might not be, it might be insignificant. Is there's a huge reason behind it.
Definitely. So we are going to do a short program tonight because of how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Because Janet needs to constellate my cold. And so we are so glad that you guys came to hear this, and just to make a little conclusion, just think about that room that we were talking about today, and picture yourself opening this door and looking at this room full of memories
Mhm.
that where the time hasn't gone
Has
through,
hasn't
hasn't
changed.
passed at
Hmm.
all, and that many of them can be affecting you or might be affecting your children or the descendants, maybe your grandchildren eventually. And that you, as you just listen to this information, you might say, oh, but I don't want that to happen because we don't want our children to go through what we went through or what our parents went through. Because just listen to this, many of our children, let's say I have a son, because yes, I have a son, Angelo. Let's say that if I didn't take a look of what happened to mom and dad, or my grandma and my grandpa, my grandpas and my grandmas, then somehow my son might identify with any of them and live their own those experiences. Because remember that we were talking about today that we replicate and resolve memories from our past. And when I say our past, it involves all your ancestors' past,
Mhm.
all the whole family system. So just think of that because that's a lot to think
It's
about.
a lot. And the other thing I want you to realize, you don't have to do this alone. Like there's a whole program. We're facilitators. Like me, Janet. My phone number
Mhm.
is 407
Yes.
460 5756. Call me.
Yes.
Say, I want to start peeking at that room. And we'll start like that, peeking at the room. And
Mm-hmm.
then you go step by step. But feel supported because this station Friday at 8 o'clock is support. Calling one of Maya's facilitator, myself is support. Because this is a journey that a lot of times you do need with help because it's a lot. It's a lot. I
Yes,
know I had to do it with help.
definitely. And it's not easy sometimes to open up, and because you want to feel safe.
Hmm.
Otherwise, you close and then you show your mask or you pretend you're okay. And that means that there is something behind that. Oh, yes, I'm fine or I'm okay. Because that's you're justifying something that maybe you're not there yet,
Hmm.
but you're trying to pretend that everything is okay. So we need to tap into know the one, not the mask, but the one behind the mask,
Yes.
which is usually that inner child of us that feels hurt.
And it's usually always the inner child.
Mm-hmm,
Yes.
mm-hmm,
So we want to give him or her that attention.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Or our parents' inner child too,
yes.
because we identify with them, as we were talking about in this case today. I carry your sadness, mom or dad.
Yeah. We did a
I
great topic on that. Look for it because we did have a good topic on that.
Yes, we did last week on Instagram. We
Yeah.
spoke about the our parents' inner child.
Yes.
And that's beautiful because it will give you this compassion
Mm.
to really see mom and dad in a different way.
Yes.
And to see mom and dad not just as mom and dad, but also as a man and a woman that are also in a process of evolution. And we can also see mom and dad inner children, inner child next to them and say, oh, but they also have an inner child that is wounded. And when you get to see that from an adultness,
Mm-hmm.
then you feel more compassion.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I see why. And it helps you process and let go of expectations, and it gives you comprehension, and then that a sort of love to forgive, to accept, and to let go.
And it is very healing. You see how your relationship would change. It's just so healing.
Yes, definitely.
So
So again, if you haven't started this ancestral journey of healing,
buy the book
buy the book
or buy the program
or buy the
or
programs.
get on the waiting list for the next class when it begins.
Exactly. So if you want to join our waiting list, you can send me a text message through WhatsApp, which I
And
think
the
is the
phone
best
number is
way.
right there.
And if you are on YouTube, that's the phone number, or you also can send me a message at 321-900-5680. And if you liked this topic, we appreciate it if you could, give us a like or
Oh
give us a
yeah,
heart or
absolutely.
and
And
share
share
it.
and
Yes,
subscribe.
and please
All those
subscribe.
key things.
All of those key things, exactly, because we want people to know these many times, and it happened before that we didn't know how to deal deeply in this with these emotions that we had. It's
Mhm.
like, how can I tap into that and really liberate it? And so we want to say that there are ways, and the family constellations is one of those ways that I would say it will change um, your life.
It really will. It
It
does.
will. It
It will.
does. And it will change your perception, not by understanding, but by feeling the change. Because once it changes here, then the mind aligns with that change. And
Mhm.
that's what makes the difference. When we get to liberate from here, from the heart, all of these emotions, then a new perspective is going to come to the mind. And then you are in a different state of mind. And that's what creates the difference.
And that's why the experience is so essential because you want to feel it. So like that, it will move everything in your body, in your cell, and everything, and you feel it in the soul.
And
And then,
outside of you as
and
well,
now,
right? Because you change it inside and
and
then you
then
see the results
outside.
outside.
Yep, everything starts inside.
That's how the magic happens.
Yes.
So we can become the wizards.
Yeah, I
Yes,
like that, the wizard.
if we decide to get into these rooms that are in this castle, and we need to go as the heroes
Yes.
and go to the dungeons and
Mhm.
free them from the dragons.
So many ways.
So many ways. The family constellations definitely will help you do some of that work.
Yes.
That we all must do.
And we all here. We are here to support you,
Exactly.
including a full institute.
There you go. So you can go to Systemic Healing Institute, systemichealinginstitute.com, and you get to see there the modules and what they are about and what you will be able to accomplish throughout this program. And so contact me and sign up for the waiting list. And when we have a group where I would consider is ready, then we can make some dates and begin.
And begin.
Mhm.
Okay, so we look forward to that.
Yes. So until then, or
Until
until
the,
next week.
until next week. Yes.
Yes. We really enjoyed this, don't
Yeah,
we,
this was
Janet?
yeah, this
Yeah.
was a
That's why I
nice
was
one.
disappointed. Why am I getting this? But we got to take some soup as well because
Yes, some nice healing soup for the
yes, I
body.
did this
The body
healing
always
soup.
takes care of us.
Definitely. And so, and nature.
And nature,
Yeah, because I
yes.
have my hydroponics and I have parsley and cilantro and
Yeah, she
some
is a nature. I'm
and
working on it on me, but
some
she is
chives
totally
and then it was so amazing because it was just a hot, beautiful broth,
yes. Mhm.
and it warms us up. and so we are sharing the love too.
Absolutely, because everything is about love.
Exactly. So sending love again
Hmm.
and blessings, and we hope to see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.